Hello, everybody. Good morning to you. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, in between two formerly tariffed nations. My name is Brian Engelman, and this is the TNAM AM Show here on the New American Media. That's because the old American media has failed you. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about the big game yesterday, of course. We're going to talk about We're going to talk about plastic straws and Prince Harry and the penny. All sorts of things to discuss. So as soon as I get this fired up here, trying to make sure we are streaming in all of the right places, we will be ready to go. Live. Excellent. Let's bring up the chat. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Are you happy? Let me start with that. Are you happy with the result of the Super Bowl yesterday? What was the entertainment value? What was your thought of the halftime show? There's a lot to unpack. And I'm saying join us live to talk Super Bowl and more. Let's start with the halftime show. Kendrick Lamar dissing Drake. Not even sure what that's all about. I bet, yes, it's been a thing. And I'm not even entirely certain what it is. So, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, the most influential diss heard around the world. I don't know. I asked the question earlier. Could you name a Kendrick Lamar song for $100 if you were on a game show? I think there was a song called "Stay Humble." I think. I'm just scrolling here trying to figure out what exactly the diss is about Drake. What is the quote? It's right at the end. It says something about minors. Was that it? Kendrick Dancer spelling out minor. I love the level of hater he gives. Okay. Anyway, the Super Bowl halftime show did not have the level of gravitas I'm used to seeing. I did recognize "Be Humble." Sit down, be humble. But it's more like a catchphrase. It's less of a song. It's more kind of like a catchphrase. I don't know if that makes sense. It is obviously a song, but it's interesting because you watch the way Travis Kelce walked into the Super Bowl dressed like a 1970s Starsky and Hutch. And, maybe the theme of it is be humble. Maybe it's that the Chiefs got really full of themselves. They started believing the hype. And we were calling the Chiefs the DEI. Yeah, the DEI franchise, the DEI dynasty. They were the team who was the golden child. They were the team that the NFL kept propping up. It seemed like all of the sketchy calls were going against the other team and going to benefit the Kansas City Chiefs. The cheats. They're more marketable, and Travis Kelce rolling up his arm and get your shot from Pfizer. Oh, awesome. I got paid and Taylor Swift. Wow. It's so neat when I play this game. It felt very contrived. Speaking of very contrived, Myles Garrett. Can I say a word to Myles Garrett? What was that woke commercial? Let's see. Myles Garrett commercial. Okay, hold on. They put him in another commercial? Wasn't he wearing glasses in the Nike commercial yesterday? Dressed like Urkel. Yeah, hold on. Why are they not showing the right commercial here? There's a commercial where Nike's got like a racial fetish against white people. I don't know what it is or where it comes from, but I haven't bought their stuff in a long time. The whole gist of this commercial is like, oh, there's a white football player and he's being a jerk. And so this black girl is going to save the day and play football better and beat them. And Myles Garrett's right in the middle of it. And it's like Myles Garrett now demanding a trade out of Cleveland, kind of like how LeBron took off out of Cleveland, managed by the same management company, working with Nike with their woke, divisive stuff. Not a fan. Not a fan, Myles. I thought I knew you. I thought I liked you, dude. I don't know what's going on with this, but that commercial rubbed me the wrong way. Am I taking this too far? Am I the only one that saw this? I'm running the search here. I can't seem to find the commercial Super Bowl. Yeah, Myles Garrett was like the nerdy kid with the glasses. I don't know, unless I'm imagining that. I can't seem to find it. It's not on X anywhere as I'm doing the search. But I'm pretty sure Myles Garrett was in that commercial. That commercial rubbed me the wrong way. Once again, just Nike continuing to just poke with sticks. I don't buy their stuff anymore. Used to like their brand. Not so much lately. Commercials. I liked the Harrison Ford commercial. That was an okay one. He drives a Jeep, but his name is Ford. I mean, that's clever writing. That's something that'll stick with you. You know, a lot of times you're like, hey, remember that cool commercial we saw? It was like an alien landed, but then the door closed and it crunched the alien's head and it killed him in front of the kids. And it was really jarring and weird. The hell was that product for? You can remember the commercial, but not the product. That was toward the end of the night. That was a really strange commercial. Don't know the product. I remember seeing the alien with his face jammed in as he was dead in its spacecraft. But I do remember Harrison Ford driving a Jeep, and my name is Ford. That's a clever commercial. All right. Mo Jundo saying I'm going too deep with Nike. Okay, all right. I appreciate your comment, Mo Jundo. Mo Jundo, can you elaborate on that? Did you see the commercial? Am I remembering it correctly? Because it was in the middle. There's a lot going on, and as I typed it in, Myles Garrett Nike commercial, it's not coming up, so I can't even replay it and watch it. But it was Myles Garrett was in that commercial wearing the dorky Urkel glasses, and it was the white guy football player, bad. This is the Obama doctrine. Every white guy is bad, and every non-white guy is awesome. LeBron James, same management company of Myles Garrett. LeBron, probably the most divisive athlete we've ever seen. Pulling the same Nike stunts every chance they get. Same management company. Now Myles is like, get me out of Cleveland. Put me in these. I don't even know who manages LeBron. Well, I mean, I guess it's Clutch. But yeah. Oh, Sal, what up, brother? Sal, I got to get you on. I want to hear you unpack. Do you have the link? I don't know if you feel like talking or not, but you can click to find us, love. No, but look, I'm hypersensitive to Myles Garrett right now. I don't appreciate what happened. I don't appreciate how he's handling this. He's got 2 years left on his contract, demanding a trade. I'd tell him to pound sand. Like, I'm really sick of Myles Garrett at this point as a Browns fan. You're under contract for 2 more years. There's no way we're going to get full value for you back. You're a generational talent, one of the best to ever do it. Yeah, it's Clutch Sports. Because I used to work at William Morris, and then the people left William Morris to found CAA. And I know there's crossover. There's a lot of crossover agency stuff that goes on out there. But yeah, Myles jumping into a woke Nike commercial right after he's like, get me out of Cleveland. LeBron's awesome. I talked to LeBron before I made this decision. And then he's in a anti-white guy, woke lady of color is the hero Nike commercial. Colin Kaepernick, woo, take a knee. Yes, we can. Si se puede. So yeah, I don't know, man. When I saw Myles and I put two and two together, and it was like, okay, bad guy, white guy. This is so 2024. This is so Obama doctrine. Are we still doing this? Nike is still doing this. They didn't get the memo that we're done hating each other because of what we look like. But anyway, that maybe my buddy Sal is telling me I'm taking it too far. So maybe I'm taking it too far. There's a lot more to discuss. Sal, what did you think of Kendrick Lamar? I thought, I recognize Stay Humble. There was that other song toward the end. I recognize that, whatever. But it completely lacked the gravitas of a Super Bowl halftime show. Most of Kendrick's songs kind of sounded the same. I mean, no super big bangers in my mind. It's like I don't even like the Rolling Stones, but the Rolling Stones would be a great halftime thing. I'm sure they have in the past. I'm not a Prince fan, but Prince brings a gravitas to him. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, a Katy Perry fan, a Madonna fan, but I think they kind of did the gravitas thing. Now, of course, Katy Perry did the Illuminati thing, which gets kind of wacky, and it's very played out these days. But there was a time and place where every Super Bowl was just dark, demonic, Illuminati imagery in all of the halftime shows. So maybe I'm happy we're kind of done with those. It was really played out. And that would be a question of the day, and I put this out there yesterday. If you were in charge of next year's Super Bowl, who do you think would be able to crush it? I've always said just for fun, I think Weird Al Yankovic would be an awesome halftime show. Maybe it's not exactly what you're anticipating, but I bet you it would be an awesome halftime show. But if we're not going that route, who are some of the biggest names? I mean, Foo Fighters, Best in Hip. I mean, what do you got? Nicki Minaj? I don't know. I guess I always kind of struggle. If I were booking the Super Bowl, who would I want to see there? So I don't know. I don't flunk Kendrick Lamar, but I didn't love it. I was not a huge fan. To the game itself, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. There you go, Sal. All right, cool. Wait, Sal, are you watching on both networks? You're on Rumble and on Facebook. This is awesome. Double the Sal in real time. Here, in case Sal wants to join or anybody else, there's the link. You could pop into the studio and give me your take. Congratulations to the Eagles. The game started off with a ticky-tack offensive pass interference call on the Eagles. And instantly, I just started screaming on X, going, no, you're not going to rig this again. Weird Al in the 80s, man. Dude, but Weird Al's been knocking him out. Have you seen a song for Aluminum Foil about the conspiracy theory stuff, about the Illuminati, about the lizard people? Dude, that song, and we'll never be royal. So it's with aluminum foil. He's wearing his tinfoil hat. It's an awesome, if you've never seen it, Sal, you got to watch Foil by Weird Al. I mean, he's still relevant. That was put out a couple years ago. Maybe his best song ever. So, I guess it's easy for parody. But I saw some ticky-tack stuff in the very beginning of the game. I guess one of them went against the Eagles. Then another one sort of went against the Chiefs. Kind of a ticky-tack hit to the head, Dallas Goedert thing. All right. And then they kind of just let him play, and the Eagles ran away with it. There was a early interception from Jalen Hurts, and you went, oh, man, is this going to be his storyline? No, it was not. It wasn't the Jalen Hurts storyline. Luckily, Jalen was able to recover from that early turnover. It took 3 points off the board, Sal. I think that was the first quarter. Maybe it was into the second, but in the first half, for sure, that interception Jalen threw could have knocked the Eagles out and, could have given the Chiefs life. But, I mean, they didn't have it all game long. The Eagles' defensive line dominated that offensive line, kept Mahomes uncomfortable. I know that interception he threw from the end zone, you watched him on a bull rush. I think it was Sweat was bull rushing number 19 coming off the corner. And when he got hit in his lower body, it threw the whole throw off and an interception. Really kudos to the Eagles. They got vengeance. They got retribution from 2 years ago when a lot of people said a ticky-tack pass interference call is the reason why the Chiefs were able to get that one. You gift wrapped them that field goal then. Pass interference, 30-yard penalty. You're like, oh God, it's the fourth quarter, under a minute. You just gave him a win. You should have to kind of earn it. Sal, jump in wherever you think, sir. Good to see you. Hold on. You are silent. I don't hear your voice. Are you on mute somehow? I don't have a mute side on my side. Let's see. What is causing Sal to be muted? Okay, I see you. I don't see a mutation. No, a mutation. Can't hear you. No, I got nothing. What happened? Should we try to disconnect and reconnect? Yeah, I don't even see your volume button. Like, if I could do a screen share in my studio, it says Brian Engelman camera, and then it has a volume button at the bottom. And sometimes, I think when Blake's on, if he's a little too quiet or a little too loud, I can adjust his feed a little bit. Try it again. Is Sal there? He's here, but I can't hear him. I cannot hear you. What's a happen? You've been in this same room. You've joined the show in that same place on that same device before, and I can't hear you. I can see you fine. You're in private here. You're in private chat. Go to the bottom left underneath my picture. Do you see private chat? You can text me what you're trying to tell me because I cannot make it out. Bottom of the screen over to the left-hand side, private chat. There we go. I'll pop it up. But yeah, I was saying I was really happy for the Eagles. What I wished was that we were going to have a Detroit Lions and Buffalo Bills Super Bowl where a city would get to celebrate their very first Super Bowl championship. That's what I was rooting for. I really didn't want this matchup, but I wanted to see Saquon Barkley get a championship. That guy, they gave the MVP this year to Josh Allen, but you could have just as easily given it to Saquon Barkley. Saquon, who was, I don't want to say cast aside, thrown into the trash by the Giants, but, they did the Baker Mayfield. They're like, you're not that good. We can replace you. We just don't want to pay you what you think you're worth. Best of luck to you. Thanks for a couple of good years, but, we want to go another direction and get better. Well, you don't get better by losing a Baker Mayfield at quarterback. You don't get better by losing a Saquon Barkley. And so I like opportunities for players who were cast aside to kind of glow up and have have a rebirth, if you will. I'm a big fan of that. So I was cheering for Saquon. I was really hoping that he was going to get a Super Bowl victory. Unfortunately, a Super Bowl touchdown. I think it was on his birthday, too. Unfortunately, that did not happen. But look, Jalen Hurts played a really nice game and got his first Super Bowl now. Good for him. He's been having a very consistent career, relying on the running game a bit, and definitely took off and ran, and definitely had a tush push or brotherly shove, they call it. It's a little more masculine than a tush push. But I'm happy for him. That I play fantasy dynasty football, and I was able to draft as rookies Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, and then I traded and I got I drafted Saquon Barkley in my second dynasty league. So, I got a lot of rooting interest for some of those players every week. I hope they do well. And so good on them. Good on them. Patrick Mahomes, doing this thing. Oh, is he the greatest of all time? They're going to get a three-peat. It felt very fabricated. They felt like a DEI. Like the scales of justice were being rigged. See how like Nimbus is pressing on my hand here? He's like trying to press me down. It felt like we were watching scripted entertainment. We were watching WWE instead of watching an actual competition of merit-based success. That's all I want. I don't want predetermined scripts. And that's really what it felt like. And I was not a fan of that. So kudos to the Eagles. It was an interesting moment. I guess I could play it for you. Well, maybe what I'll do is this. I'm just going to tear through the news. I can't do a marathon show today. I got to get out of the studio in about 40 or 50. So here, let me pull up the Instagram feed. Man, Nimbus is being all cuddly this morning. It's nice to have a buddy joining you. Having problems with the audio. I know, Sal. What happened? Can you reboot your system? Can you reboot your computer? I don't know. Because every time you've done this before, it's worked just fine. So I don't know what's changed. I don't think anything has changed on my side. So anyway, we want to talk about Prince Harry getting deported. We want to talk about the pennies. We want to talk about the straws. We want to talk about Taylor Swift and Trump. Let's just jump into some of the stories here, and we will tear through them. Let's go side by side. Here's the other thing. It was rumored yesterday that there were supposed to be DOGE commercials. Remember that? Elon Musk bought 4 commercials for $30 million, $7.5 million a piece of his own money to explain all the fraud that we found with DOGE. I was excited for that. And frankly, I wasn't super impressed by many of those Super Bowl commercials. And so I was wondering if we were going to get some super cool commercials out of DOGE. See, Sal's back, but I still don't see the volume thing under your screen. Sal is trying. I don't hear Sal say something. I could show you yeah. So in the sources on the right-hand side, it shows volume. Do you have a volume button over there? If you click on the little bubble on the right-hand side, Sal, you see the bubble of your face, the bubble of my face. Click on that. Can you expand that out? You see Brian and then Brian with screen share and then Sal. Do you have a volume button right there? Do you have a slider for volume? Do you see that the other two have a slider for volume? If you click to expand that out on sources on the right-hand side, because I don't even see a volume slider for you, Sal. I want to get your take. Especially since Sal said, Brian, you're looking into that Nike commercial too much. I'm like, yeah, but I'm mad at Myles, and Myles is with LeBron, and LeBron is divisive, and Nike's divisive. So now Myles is divisive. Arr, I just wanted to growl about that a little bit. Sal was trying to calm me down. I was hoping to get his calming perspective, his sober yin to my raging yang this morning. Oh, Sal, I don't know how to get you in, dude. Here, maybe I could try giving you the link again. I don't know if it'll do anything different if I send the link in the chat. Do you see the private chat box come up? Can you type me a reply in the private chat? Do you see that? Where I sent the link, I'll say test. Can't hear Sal. Want to hear Sal. Yeah, we're trying to go back to doing the 11/11 show. Maybe do a nighttime hang. That's kind of fun. Had Bill Murar on the other day. That was fun. Got to get the regular unhappy hour stuff going. But yeah, look, Travis Kelce didn't do much yesterday. He looked kind of washed. Patrick Mahomes looked very mortal. You keep hearing these rumors about Travis Kelce wanting to retire. Maybe not. Oh, I got a lot left in the tank. The passes thrown to him weren't very good passes. His effort wasn't very good. He didn't seem particularly fast or dominant. I guess Xavier Worthy had a couple of moments, hit a couple home runs toward the end of the game when, down by 32 points or 28 points. It didn't really matter. But Kansas City didn't show us much. Chris Jones showed an injury to his neck. They were trying to work on it on the brotherly shove play. So, yeah, Sirianni gets his first Super Bowl win, and Jalen Hurts gets his first Super Bowl win. I do not want to see a dynasty. Like I said, I wanted the Bills and the Lions, franchises who've never celebrated. I want to spread that love around. Come to Cleveland, come to Detroit, go to Buffalo. That's what I'm hoping for. Red, stay on it. Red, stay on it. Click when red is stuck. The mic is stuck? I don't get why we can't get your audio. Yeah, I sent you the link a second time. I don't know maybe if you could click on the link from your cell phone. Maybe we could hang on. Let me try this. All right, this got to be the last one. Let me try to email this to Salvador Dali. I know that's not your name, but Salvador. Salahi.harris@gmail. Here. Sent it to your email. Maybe try it on your phone. I don't know why that wouldn't work. but I did send it to your phone. We'll try that. All right, back to the Here, let me tell you the penny story with President Trump real quick before we get into these things. Home search Trump penny. This is a really great post here. President Trump came, and I will play with President Trump was cheered and Taylor Swift was jeered. Yeah, because she sided with the Democrats, and nobody likes the Democrats. We're sick of the Democrats. We don't like them. We don't like the Obama doctrine. We don't like the, I see volume now for Sal. Hold on. Try it now.
Okay.
We're back. What happened? What happened?
We landed on the moon.
We did.
Yeah.
So let's get your Myles Garrett take. You said I was going too far, but I'm thinking James, most divisive racial arsonist in sports ever.
No, man.
Nike, the most divisive racial company ever.
It's about the money.
Out of Cleveland, and Myles is in a Nike commercial where the white guy's the bad guy, and it's the woman of color that saves the day from the evil white man. And it's like, that is so 2024 to me, Sal. What say you?
It's about the money. It's about the money. When you realize it's about the money, nothing shocks you anymore. People are willing to sell their soul for a little piece of money. When you realize that, it's about people, it's about relationships, it's about having us to be united against the people who don't want us united. Then that's what makes everything so much different. If I could make you hate this person, it speaks volumes. But when I realize that, me hating you is not going to help me out. So how about I work with you and see if we can make something happen together?
Well, what was that commercial? What was the it was Snoop Dogg yelling at Tom Brady, and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
What'd you make of that?
That's corny. That's corny. And it's a reason behind it.
Choose love, Sal. Choose love.
Yeah. I mean, try it. Just try it once. Just try it. Just try it.
Yeah, I'm just frustrated with Myles Garrett. What were your thoughts on the game? The Eagles getting the victory.
After halftime, I stopped watching it. I stopped watching after halftime. Didn't make any sense for me. I went to Buffalo Cafe to get some wings because everywhere else was packed. Went to Buffalo's. They have great wings at Buffalo Cafe. Shameless plug. It was pretty good wings. But yeah, other than that, after halftime, I stopped watching it and I watched Sonic 3 with my son, man. I knew the outcome.
I was worried that the refs were going to get in the way. They had the biggest comeback in NFL history. They are truly the greatest franchise. They're a dynasty. I just, I did a whole comedy bit. Sal, I don't think I showed you my comedy bit. I did. I did stand up for the first time. Maybe I'll send you the link here. But I did 3 sets last week. So
wow.
Yeah, man. So I can't see the video here. I was gonna try to send you the link. Playlist, post, shorts, popular, oldest, new. It's not even showing up. Go figure. But yeah, I did a whole bit about DEI and how the Chiefs were the DEI team. The refs are pushing the scales of justice to predetermine the outcome for their chosen ones. And so I felt like we were kind of in that dangerous territory, Sal. Whereas like they were jamming the Chiefs down our throats.
If we go by history, just strictly by history, the best defensive team always wins the Super Bowl. The better defensive team always wins the Super Bowl. At this junction, the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, but the Eagles have the best defense in the NFL. I mean, not quite as historic as like your Ravens teams, but they had those teams that were that the teams that are very defensive minded, that plays great defense, they always win. I didn't think that anything would change. The only chink in the armor that I saw for the Eagles was, I was like, well, if Kansas City's defense is good enough to make it so that they can slow down Saquon Barkley and make it so that
they bottled Saquon up.
Yeah, but I'm talking about really slow him down as far as like him not having 100 yards and they made it so that that Jalen Hurts had to pass the ball because he's not a great passer. Like I said, this year he only had one 300-yard game this year. So I felt that if they can stop the pass and they could stop the run, they would have a chance. But the defense would have to have a historically bad game for the Eagles for this to come off. But that didn't happen. They had like one.
The leading rusher for the Eagles was who?
The coach, not the coach, but the QB, right?
Jalen Hurts had 72 yards. They held Saquon to 57 yards, 2.3 average on 25 carries. They bottled his ass up. And I'll tell you what, those Jalen Hurts runs, they were 15-yard chunks to get first downs. They were backbreakers to keep those drives alive. I mean, Jalen showed us a little bit of something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed by that defensive line from the Eagles. They came to play, man.
Yeah.
They were causing problems to the Chiefs all game long. I really did want to see a touchdown for Saquon on his birthday, but it wasn't in the cards. I'm sure he'll take the Super Bowl win.
He'll take the ring.
He sat the last game out. He could have been the MVP this year. He could have become the all-time leading rusher. But for him, it was about the Super Bowl, and he got it. And he's a likable guy. So is Jalen Hurts. I found myself happy that the Eagles won. And happy to watch the Chiefs not win. It just felt so fabricated and phony. Like you said, the Snoop Dogg commercial's corny. I feel like the Chiefs are corny.
Yeah, they are. Because they are. They're very modern team. They're built to be a modern team. You're built to like a Pat Mahomes. You're built to like a Kelsey, even though he always gonna be my guy because he's I'm from East Cleveland. He's from Cleveland Heights. So he always gonna be, he got that Cleveland connection. So I won't be too hard on him. But to have Taylor,
go ahead. All right, good.
No, to have Taylor Swift in the mix and all this other stuff, that's what makes them into that type of team. That's all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And by the way, did you see the difference between when they showed President Trump on the screen and when they showed Taylor Swift on the screen? Did you happen to catch that? Here, let me see if I can pull that one up real quick. While I pull this up, can you explain the beef with Kendrick and how he dissed Drake? Do you understand this?
Yeah, I have a yes.
What we're talking about.
The biggest thing with the beef was it started off with a song that was made between a guy by the name of J. Cole and Kendrick, and they made a song and basically saying that they're like and another guy saying they're like the three kings of hip hop. Then Kendrick came out with a song basically saying that, you know, that he's the number one guy. And it's just the fact that Drake is not a real authentic artist. He uses a lot of other artists to make his music hot. So what he typically does is he comes to Atlanta. Whoever's the hottest rapper in Atlanta, he'll collaborate with them, and then he'll come out with an album. So it'll make him hot, and he'll help out the guy from Atlanta. But it's always been that type of way of him doing things. And Drake, he does a lot of suspect things with young girls, allegedly.
Okay, so that's where so Kendrick. That was the last line of his performance. What? Something about minor.
Yeah, A minor. Yes.
Okay.
And so, it was just the fact that Kendrick will make a song like that. They're not like us, where it's a popular song, but yet it's saying that this man is basically a pedophile. So that's what makes it.
The song was written that way. He didn't change the lyrics for the Super Bowl.
Certain things he didn't say. He didn't say certain things.
What didn't he say?
You have to listen to the album. Like you have to listen to the uncut version first. I can't go through it because I don't listen to that music. And I don't listen to his music like that.
Well, Mike Moran in the comments, he's saying, not sure who received the worst ass whooping, the Chiefs or Drake.
I think Drake did.
You think Drake?
Drake did.
Drake took it worse.
He took it the worst.
Okay.
That song was Kendrick Lamar received 5 Grammys for that song
Really?
last week. Yes. So that song, it was the best song. It was the best song, best performance, best rap song. It was they won a couple other ones for just that song. So he won 5 Grammys for that one song. And it's basically a diss album. So that's what make it even worse. Everybody around the whole world singing that song. So that's what makes it that bad. At least Kansas City had a chance. He ain't had no chance when it come to that song.
He didn't have a chance. All
Didn't
right,
have a
I'll take that. I'll take that. Let's buzz through some of these things here. This was, I don't know if you saw, look, this was happening during the game. I just want to touch on it. President Trump was at this game, but he was working at the game. Here, let me make this big. He tweets out while he's watching the Super Bowl, "For far too long, the United States has minted pennies." They said, "Sir, pennies. They're little pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents to make. It's so wasteful. I've instructed my Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies, rip the waste out of our great nation's budget, even if it's a penny at a time." I love the writing there. I love the cleverness of it. And if it costs 2 cents to make a penny, it doesn't make sense. But this was happening at the Super Bowl. Trump's making news. He's sending these tweets out. Like, any thoughts on that? I thought that was cool.
It's all. Hey, you know what? You want to hear something funny? When I used to live in Saudi Arabia. I used to live in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and back in 2011, they stopped printing change as a whole. So what they did was they stopped printing like change. So like you'll go to the store and you'll buy something, right? What they'll do is give you something of equal value. So they'll give you a couple pieces of gum to offset what you losing by not having to change. But they deal with a lot of paper money rather than like the change that they used to have. And they were trying to stop, using as much, at least the smaller change. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what they did. And I think that's smart, because really,
if we could get inflation to do the opposite of what it's been doing, coins used to have a value. Like I'm old enough to remember when coins had a value. But look, if it costs you 2 cents to make a penny, let's just make the nickel. What are we doing here? They'll be in circulation, whatever, and eventually they won't be. Mike Moran saying Serena Williams, Drake's ex-girlfriend, even showed up to turn the knife. Man, I love the back and forth on this.
Yeah, it was pretty deep.
It's wild. Let me show you what else was pretty deep. This one here, share this tab instead. Pop this up on the screen. Here's the difference between when they did not show President Trump on screen much. They did not show Taylor Swift on screen much, but when they did, here was the reaction. Tell me if you notice a difference, Sal. That sounded like a nice little applause there. So they're cheering. And here's what Taylor Swift is showing. He's looking around like, what? For me? You're booing me? I thought you'd cheer me. I thought you loved me. Was that surprising, Sal?
Nah, that's not surprising. People are tired of Taylor Swift. It's too much. It's too much. When I want to watch my football, I want to watch my football. I don't want to see Taylor Swift.
Because it's been this fabricated relationship shoved in your throat about, hey, look, Travis Kelce, here's the Chiefs, here's Taylor Swift. Look, everyone loves them. Don't you love them? Aren't they the best? You're like, no, I don't really want any of that anymore. I would love for that not to be a thing. But yeah, the reaction there was drastic of a difference there. Did you like seeing President Trump there? Do you know he's the first president? What they say in 59 years of the Super Bowl? He's the first sitting president to attend a Super Bowl game. That doesn't even seem real to me. How could that be?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But we live, like I say, we live in a new age, man, where, you kind of have to be in the mix of things. and you can get information so quickly. So that's the reason why it's a good thing for him to just to be there, to have just to show himself being there, and
Yeah, he feels like America's president. Like Joe Biden was just an absolute weekend at Bernie's puppet. But right here, yeah, Trump makes history, first president ever to attend a Super Bowl, or sitting president.
Yeah.
With all the threats against him, Trump walks the field at the game. What an exciting time. It's pretty cool. I thought that was super neat.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on best commercials from yesterday? Any other takeaways from the game itself? Because I have a couple of news items to buzz through, but I mean, like you said, you stopped watching at halftime.
I stopped watching. I was watching Sonic 3. Man, it was too much to behold. It's the end of an era, Maybe Myles Garrett maybe the Chiefs might give us a king's ransom to get Myles Garrett. You never know, So
I've said this, Sal. I want double the Ricky Williams. That's what I want for Myles Garrett. I want 2 of your drafts in a row. This is a generation, once in a lifetime player.
I'm with you.
Freak. I want 2 years of your entire draft picks, Ricky Williams style.
I'm with you. I agree with you. What
is a number 31 draft pick going to give me?
Nothing.
You're not going to get a generational player like this.
No.
I mean, maybe, sure. You got Nick Chubb at 33. You got Lamar Jackson at 32. Like, I'm sure, there are plenty of good players, but not like surefire Hall of Famers like this.
Right.
If you trade him to a contender that he wants, like, it's going to take more than a number 31 pick to get that deal.
No.
For me, it doesn't even move the needle.
With the dead cap that we will owe by trading them this year, it wouldn't be worth it. Now they'd have to make it worth our while for us to actually do that, But no, I'd rather for them to sit on the damn bench. I'd rather for them to sit out for a year than to do that.
Goodwill Hunting. He talks about getting abused by his dad. His dad would come home drunk. He'd say, you can either pick the switch, which is a stick off the tree, a branch, his belt, or a wrench. I'm going to hit you with something. Which one do you want? You go, I picked the wrench. Why'd you pick the wrench? Because F him. That's why. So, you know what? Fine. I'm not going to get a trade back. Well, whatever. Myles, you can sit on the bench like Deshaun. I thought you were all about being a Hall of Fame player. Oh, I want to win. I want to win. Well, you're not going to win sitting on the bench. So good luck not winning on the bench. And irrelevant 2 years. I don't know. That's where I'm at. I don't like the demands. 2 years left on the contract. I don't like the direction the Browns are in, obviously, but the whole thing rubs me the wrong way. All right, I got some news to buzz through. You want to stay with me for the news, Sal?
Hey, why not?
Let's go. Let's jump into DOGE. I was excited. I thought DOGE was supposed to buy 4 commercials for $30 million of his own money. This was the rumor going around. There were no DOGE commercials. I thought a DOGE commercial would have been epic to just talk to the normies watching football and be like, do you know that money that they're stealing from you every month on your paycheck? Do you know what they're doing with the money they're stealing? They're intentionally destroying our country with it. So unfortunately, we didn't get those ads. But this one here we shared. It says it's from Patriot Mindset. Let me click on this. And it says, Oh, actually, let me start with this one because there we go. Sorry, I'm doing this. If you were more angry at the man who legally uncovered government money laundering than the people who laundered the money, then I'm compelled to question your loyalty to the United States Constitution. Sal, you've seen this around. You've seen people attacking DOGE and attacking Elon. And it's like, hold on a minute. I think our money's being wasted. They put $36 trillion on a credit card, and they're actively taking our money to put anti-American stuff into the universe to ruin this nation, in my opinion. You have thoughts on DOGE and their successes or lack thereof in the last 3 weeks?
About me being a veteran, I strongly believe that if you don't have a boogeyman, you should always create one. As far as if you're talking about spending money, if you look at Homeland Security, if you look at Homeland Security, you look at the reason why you have a Homeland Security, and so you got a Homeland Security, but yet you have over 7 government agencies that couldn't get together to get information together to make sure that we're safe. But then you're gonna add another one that's supposed to be the people that takes care of things. It just doesn't make any sense. It's the sense of it all. And I think that's the problem that we have as far as the people that we put in office, how they've been there for such a long time and they do nothing, or they get paid to do nothing, or they get paid off, get kickbacks to let things that they know that is wrong, morally wrong, and they let it happen. So in my humble opinion, if you were around to see that these things were done, you shouldn't be in office. You shouldn't be in office anymore. If you were around knowing that this stuff was going on, it took place, you shouldn't be in office anymore.
Yeah, the deep state has got its claws into a lot of people, and I mean, they are being extracted medically at this point. And Trump is even going here. Benny Johnson shares this. He's going after the Department of Education. Look, I mean, we used to be #1 in the world in education back when Jimmy Carter put this into play back in the 70s. We suck right now. We can't even get people that know how to read. That's ridiculous. So President Trump, this is the sneak preview of his Super Bowl interview. And here you go. Here's his thoughts on the Department of Education.
It's kickbacks or what's going on. But the people, look, I ran on this, and the people want me to find it. And I've had a great help with Elon Musk, who's been terrific.
Bottom line, you say you trust him.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it. He's so into it.
Yeah, and Sal, President Trump is getting the world's one of the most competent people on earth to work for him for free. Holy shit. And it's like, can you ever accept a win, Democrats? Can you ever just accept a win? Like, we are rooting out the corruption, but no, they can't, because they are the corrupt. They are the ones benefiting the most from this scam. Plenty of Republicans are too, but remember, Trump is not a Republican. He's a MAGA. MAGA defeated the Republican Party in those primaries back in 2016. The Republicans were absolutely against him, and they still are. The Mitt Romneys, the Liz Cheneys, the Adam Kinzingers, the Lindsey Grahams, and the Mitch McConnells. These people are just as bad as the Democrats, just as untrustworthy. They're the uniparty, the deep state. But yeah, President Trump is like, I don't even run in all these companies. I don't know how he has the time to dedicate what he's doing.
But I told him do that. Then I'm going to tell him very soon, like maybe in 24 hours, to go check the Department of Education. He's going to find the same thing. Then I'm going to go to the military. Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud and abuse. And, the people elected me on that. I don't know if it.
Yeah, Sal, they elected him. They're like, oh, we didn't elect Elon Musk. It's like, yeah, you did. Absolutely, you elected him, right? Like, this is exactly what he was saying. I want to do this. He's not pulling a 180 and, hey, now I want to do something radical. He's like, no, we're 36 trillion on a credit card. We got to pay it off. Let's rip out everything that's not essential. We're trying to save the ship before it sinks, right?
You know what I think of when one of the things I think of, I'm gonna go left field, is when you think of these things happening right now with Trump, it makes me think about how 9/11 happened and how the Pentagon had all that information about all those trillions of dollars that was that they couldn't allocate, and they didn't know what was going on.
$1 trillion the day before it happened, right?
Yeah.
Here's a distraction.
Yeah.
The day later, you're not wrong about that, Sal. And you having served been a part of the service. I mean, you have your insight and you have your conversations with those people too. It's fairly obvious. Yeah, last time we did a real audit of the Pentagon, we know what happened. Here's Elon talking about the whole situation here.
Where would you start with government efficiency? It's kind of like being in a room where the entire room is targets, and so you can shoot in any direction and not miss. It's like just impossible to miss because every direction is a target. The government is spending far, far more than it brings in. And the reality is that all government spending is actually taxation. All government spending is taxation. Sometimes people think some of it is taxation and some of it's not, but it's all taxation because the part that is not covered by tax revenue becomes inflation. So you're either taxed directly or you're taxed by inflation, but you're for sure taxed. So it can't be like, we'll trim a little bit here and there. That's not going to work. There have to be quite radical reductions in cost.
Need to cut deep and fast, or we'll keep.
Yeah. Sal, everything in the room is a target. Where do you start? I don't know. Everything's a target. No matter where you go with it, it's going to be a good idea. There's way too much spending. And look, Benny Johnson putting this out. Elon Musk has announced that the Department of Education no longer exists. That from MSNBC. I mean, look, President Trump said he's putting Vince McMahon's wife in charge of the Department of Education. And if she does her job, maybe she won't have a job. Yeah, it's like her job was to end the Department of Education. And so
when I think about the Department of Education, it made me think about when I was young, and I recall having books when I was like a young kid where Jimmy Carter was in the president in the back of our social study books. And I'm like, what the fuck? Bill Clinton is the president. We got Jimmy Carter in the back of the book as the president. What are we doing with the money? Not a year. What were they doing with the money?
I'm sure those administrators were paid very well, Sal. That's how it usually goes. The administrators get bank while the rest of the kids get bunk. That's usually how it goes.
We're not gonna leave no kid behind. Leave no kid behind. You're gonna push him through. Now he's 18 years old. He doesn't have the skill set to actually work a job because of the fact that the system failed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whose fault is that? Is it the kids or is it the system that?
Yeah.
And the hoity-toity Democrats love to talk about uneducated Republican voters. It's like, hold on a second. I feel I used this in my first stand-up bit. I said, if you watch the news, if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you do watch the news, you're misinformed.
Yes.
And, when you brainwash these kids with all the wrong stuff and you don't give them the right stuff, you know exactly the product that you're cranking out. You're cranking out permanent Democrat voters through that education system. That's the goal of the education system. You walk in, you got every flag up on the walls. You got the Marxist fists. You got rainbows here and there and everywhere. It's just everything except an American flag. And you're like, what are you doing here? What is this place? I don't know. Just make education simple again. Look, let me do this one. Elizabeth Warren, 15 years ago, the lady who's screaming the most about Elon finding corruption. She used to pretend to be against corruption. Just a nice reminder.
No, when that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere. But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public, we'll never find out.
We are here to fight back.
She's fighting back against audits to find the corruption. Life comes at you fast, Lizzie. Life comes at you fast. I mean, these people talk out of both sides of their mouth, Sal. It's kind of astonishing. Mike Moran saying people rooting against putting money back in the pockets of taxpayers is astonishing. The sleep is deep. Yeah, man. Like it's what do they call it? Not Munchausen syndrome. Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm, yes.
Yeah, you start to like you've been taken over, and just at some point you start siding with your captors, and that's the interesting thing there. So we'll see how this goes with the Democrats freaking out over USAID and the judge trying to block our access to the Treasury. They're trying to block access to the Treasury,
of course.
Now, I think the game plan is send in the Marines, like lock that building down and defy the order and say, "Come at me. I'm the commander in chief. You don't get to say we're not going to let you destroy these records." You're trying to shred everything. Like, what would you support going into the Treasury with some activist judge say, no, we're going to block this for just a few days so that we can, in the 7 swing states that pause their count just long enough so that we can get enough votes for Biden at 3 a.m. Like, they're going to try to do the same thing at the Department of Treasury. Would you support sending in the Marines to lock that building down and get those servers before they can destroy them?
I think that's kind of tight having the Marines to do it, but I get where you're coming from. I think that we have enough agencies to take care of that type of stuff. The Treasury would do that, right? Department of Treasury would be the ones you would have to do something like that, right?
Yeah, well, they're blocking. They're saying that the DOGE has no right to go into the Treasury to see what's going on because they're not civil servants. And it's like, yeah, at the direction of the President of the United States, of course,
Yes,
Treasury.
that's what
Like,
that's
you have no right to say we can't see what's going on in the Treasury. You're the CEO of the country. Of course, you have a right to be at the Treasury, unless you're hiding something, Judge. And I guess they cherry picked the judge to find like the right time of day to file the paperwork so they could get the right person to rule on it, and that someone who's already in their camp.
No. It was done a long time ago. It's like, hey, Judge, we need that favor.
Yeah.
We need that favor now. That's what that is. That's how it always is. It's always someone that gets a bag of money and it's like, oh, don't worry about it. Just take it. You're fine. Take it. We'll let you know when we need you.
Right. Let me talk about this real quick. Elon says this ruling is absolutely insane, referring to what Charlie Kirk said. New York Judge Paul Engelman. Hey, don't ruin my name, bro. He's getting close to my name there. Judge Paul just forbade all political appointees, including the Treasury Secretary. Even the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, can't access the Department of Treasury data. All based on conspiracy theory. That one being challenged because the order was ex parte, blah, blah, blah. Elon goes, this ruling is absolutely insane. How on earth are we supposed to stop fraud and waste of taxpayer money without looking at how money's spent? That's literally impossible. Something super shady is going on to protect the scammers. And Charlie says, shut it down. The system is not going down without a fight. The judge ruled to block everyone, including the Treasury Secretary, from seeing how the government's spending our money. Only deep state Democrats can access the data. It forbids the elected government from accessing information about budget and finances. Instead, only the permanent deep state government can know what's being spent. I mean, Sal, this is why I'm saying it's time for the Marines. Circle the building. We'll sort it out in court later. But you're not going to shred all the documents and destroy all the. You mean I wiped it clean, like with a cloth?
Yeah.
Bleach bit? You mean I wiped it with a cloth? Hillary was dead to rights with her private servers in the closet of her apartment, Chinese access, all the foreign spying being done. She got away with that. We can't let them get away with this stuff anymore, Sal.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a big story that's going on. Here's a story that's not super big, but it's super funny. This is Trump. This happened over the weekend. He's talking about, he's asked about Prince Harry, and this comes out.
You cannot use the nuclear word ever again. Harry is whipped. Do you know the expression whipped?
I'm familiar with the phrase.
I won't use the full expression, but Harry is whipped.
I won't use the full expression. Some kind of whip.
Like no person I think I've ever seen. I'm not a fan of Meghan.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. And I wasn't right from the beginning. I think poor Harry is being led around by his nose, okay?
You think it's going to end?
I do. I've been a very good predictor. I predicted almost everything. It'll end, and it'll end bad. And I wonder if Harry's going to go back on his hands and knees and say, please, I think Harry has been led down a path.
If you were the Queen, is it at the stage now, would you remove their royal title?
I would. The only thing I disagree with the Queen on, probably one of the only things ever, is that I think she should have said, if that's your choice, fine. But you no longer have titles, you no longer, and frankly, don't come around. He has been so disrespectful to the country, and I think he's an embarrassment.
Yeah, that one hit hard. And then the what's the quick quote here? I don't want to do that. Actually, this is the quote I thought I was getting
use
to.
the nuclear word.
Hang on.
I'm not a fan of.
About the deportation.
I do. I've done almost everything bad. And I wonder if Harry's going to go path.
If you were the Queen,
I think she should have said, don't come around.
Well, the quote is supposed to be, I don't want to do that, talking about deporting Prince Harry from the U.S. I don't want to do that. I'll leave him alone. He's got enough problems with his wife. She's terrible. Funniest president ever. I mean, he just says what's on his mind, like for good or for bad. He doesn't mince words, and that has a benefit somewhere, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I think about Harry, I'm just going to go quick with it. When I think about Harry, I think about his mom, and I think about what happened to her. So on the flip side, I can see why he is the way he is.
You can see why he is the way he is because of his mom.
Yeah, what happened to her with the family, how things went with her and the family. That's the reason why. It's easy to rebel. It's easy to rebel. He chose her. Just like his pops chose his mom, chose Lady Di. Lady Di was not a conventional like princess. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why he doing what he doing to protect her. That's why he's doing what he's doing. Because he know how the family is.
Meghan Markle came out of nowhere to start a flame war with Trump. Like, that's kind of what you get. You know, Taylor Swift sided with Kamala Harris and the dirty Democrats. Boo. Yeah, like, we hate the Democrats. They hate us. And I think the era of the Democrats silencing people and shaming people into, ooh, we're scared. I don't want to speak out, I guess. I don't know. I guess go ahead. That's over. That is so over and done with. The other thing that's over and done with is plastic straws. This happened a couple days ago, too. President Trump will be signing an executive order next week ending the ridiculous Biden push for paper straws, which don't work. They don't work. And we're back to plastic. Sal, you're cheering? You're happy.
I use metal straws.
Oh, okay. You switched to metal.
I'm a metal guy. I use metal straws. I use the paper straws. You know, so you know, when I go places, I'm more, you know, my kids, they show me things on the internet, you know, where like a turtle got a straw up his nose. I'm like, golly, maybe I shouldn't use a straw. Maybe I shouldn't. So I'm more aware. You get what I'm saying? I'm more aware.
Yeah, I've been a bartender long enough. I've seen these paper straws. They dissolve in your drink. They stick to your lips. It's like, I can't stand that stuff. But yeah, I've been given bamboo straws and metal straws.
That's good, man.
I'll tell you what, though, I took a sip out of a metal straw that wasn't cleaned properly once, and but it was bad.
You gotta clean it, buddy. I got like a 20 set of them, and I got the little thing, and I clean them, and
like, I didn't know pipe cleaners had an actual use other than debaucherous teenage activities.
Yeah, hey.
All right, a couple more stories, and we're going to bounce here because I think someone's jumping into the studio in a few minutes. Robert F. Kennedy says 5 states now, Texas, Utah, Kansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana, are suing Pfizer for knowing and concealing the vaccine causing myocarditis, pericarditis, failed pregnancies, and deaths. That's 10% of U.S. states, and the tide is turning. Sal, you're cheering again. What say you?
I'm against Big Pharma. I feel that we need to be even more tough on them after what happened with the opioid epidemic.
Oh, man.
It ruined so many lives, and now, you know, it's just so sad, man. It's sad. I live in Cartersville, Georgia. It's the worst. You'll see people just leaning over, and it's the worst. So whenever I hear about like Big Pharma, like people are going against them, states are, I hope they get as much money possible that they can get from them. If they can destroy them. We shouldn't have to have all these medications and things like that. It ruins everything.
Hey, man, and Pfizer ran a nice big ad about curing cancer yesterday. It's like, did you say curing or causing? What did you say there? What are you saying? All of these years, and how many things have you actually ever cured?
Yeah.
Have you ever cured something or developed a pill that you have to charge somebody for the rest of their life to be on that's going to cause other side effects?
Yeah.
We got to get to the bottom of it. I think seed oils are going to be a known one. I think microplastics are going to be one. I think we're going to kind of come full circle. I know whole foods are better than all the super processed stuff, but man, I can't wait for Bobby Kennedy to get confirmed.
Me too.
Trump is calling for, he wants an immediate, he wants all of the information about his assassination attempts released. It's like, bro, you've been on the job for 3 weeks. You don't have all that yet? Well, yeah, it's the people inside these walls that tried to kill you. And a lot of they're saying they were both CIA assets, just like Kennedy. And it's like, I don't know what's going on here, but we've got to peel back the layers of the onion and just deal with this infection. That's for damn sure. This is the final story I had in the stack here. This was Elon Musk. So Nick Crew, well, all right, there's a lot going on here. Let's just play this little clip. Because going after the bad guys is not going to be easy, but man, is it fun, and it's necessary. So there's no choice. It's life or death. It's them or us. There is no sitting this one out. We have to participate, and we have to root out the corruption.
Don has billions of dollars that they hide. We don't ask for any accounting of. They never pass an audit. In the history of audits, I've often said the only way we're really going to get to the bottom of this is somebody's going to walk out of one of these labs with this information and puts it out on the internet, before they commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head 5 times.
You heard that, Sal. Right at the bottom here, Nick Cruz Patain says, I have an idea, and it's the White House surrounded by Elon's bots. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of small down there at the bottom, all of his Elon bots. And then at the top, Elon says, guess I better maximize my security. I mean, they're not going to go down without a fight, but they are going down because, like, it is life or death. Like, our country is beyond repair. We've invaded how many countless nations? Like, this nation building shit doesn't work. Millions of lives needlessly lost. Here they come to snuff the rooster from Vietnam, go back to, like, this is nonsense. We were never meant to be Team America World Police. The globalists think that this is the way it should be, and we need to be the ones at the front of it. And we're all suffering because of it. And it looks like we're on a path now, a collision course to rip out these infections and kind of deal with the wound. What say you? You've seen it all from both sides. You've been a private citizen. You've been in Riyadh, you know, you've seen it all.
I believe that, like I told you, like I said before, it's going to be another boogeyman that has to emerge from the shadows, and it comes from things that happened in the past, and they'll make it so that it's a situation where impossible happens. You know, I look at us as America. I look at our security and everything we have. It's impossible for a 9/11 to happen. It's impossible for all these things to go down without anyone knowing anything. And I feel that I fear for Elon, because I think it'll end up being a situation where someone's able to get to touch him, or someone's able to do something. And I'm just hoping that because he has his own money and he's the richest man in the world, that he has people that work for him that's very loyal and won't let anything happen to him. But deep down inside, I feel like we have to have another boogeyman, because things are going, when things happen like this and they go the way they're going, something always happens.
I know. It was COVID a couple of years ago to derail Trump. Trump was super popular, and all of a sudden COVID came out, and it was every screen was just flashing death numbers nonstop. 2 quick stories here, just headlines, and then we will wrap today's show. This one, Matt Van Swol saying, how the F were illegal immigrants getting $59 billion to stay in luxury hotels in New York when FEMA tried to kick out 3,000 Hurricane Helene victims in Western North Carolina during the winter? Elon says the DOGE team just discovered FEMA sent $59 million last week during the Trump administration to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal alien invaders. Spending this money violated the law and in gross subordination to the president's executive order. That money is meant for disaster relief. And I think he goes on to say people should go to jail for that. I agree. What does he say at the bottom? Yeah, a clawback demand will be made to recoup those funds. It's insanity. They've stolen our FEMA money, the Federal Emergency Management Agency money, for Americans to encourage illegal alien invaders to continue their assault on this country. It's insane. Final one here today. Rick Scott is saying up today they're going to vote to move forward on Tulsi Gabbard's nomination, one step closer to getting her confirmed. And they're saying RFK should be getting confirmed, hopefully Kash Patel as well. Why are these being held up? I mean, these are 3 of the most powerful people on planet Earth, Sal. I mean, final thought, and we will end today's show. Look at those 3 people. When you see them, what disruption do you see to our American system, Sal? And is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. You know, I feel that the people that are making their money, they're looking at it like, this is going to be the last time we can get this money the way we've been getting it. And that's the reason why things are going the way they're going. The jig is up.
The jig is up, man. This is so overdue in my world. I've been calling for this stuff my entire life, Sal. I couldn't be happier at the way the first 3. Whoop, hold on. Where'd Sal go? Hold on, wait. I clicked the wrong button. There we go. I couldn't be happier with the first 3 weeks of work now. I am just astonished at the lightning speed, and it's non-stop. Like I said, Trump's making things happen at the Super Bowl. He's tweeting news. He doesn't stop working. The dude is a non-stop workaholic. And apparently Ron Paul is going to join DOGE to do an audit of the Federal Reserve private banking cartel.
Love Ron Paul. Love him.
I
love his dad more, but
no, it'll be Ron Paul.
Ron Paul. Oh, I love it. Not Rand. I'm sorry.
Steam. Elon's talking about
love
it.
Ron Paul.
Pictures of them together, like, and someone, I tweeted it, and someone said, "Oh, leave the old man alone. He's retired. Let him enjoy his." I go respectfully. I think Dr. Ron Paul, the best use of his time, the best vacation, the best day he could ever have in his life would be to audit the Federal Reserve and put an end to that bullshit where they steal our money, loan it back to us at interest, devalue it, and have us running around as little debt slaves to do their little dances. That would be Ron Paul's Merry Christmas. That'd be the best Christmas gift he could ever get. It's like, oh, leave him alone. Like, man, he would crawl through hell and back over broken glass to get to the Federal Reserve. And
we're that'll give him an extra 10 years of life.
Exactly. That's the boost I needed. Final thought here. Mike Moran says, first it was COVID. Now they're doing the bird flu, kill 100 million chickens so the Democrats can then blame Trump for the price of eggs. Bunch of assholes. But yeah, it's always the invisible threat. Well, I don't think it's going to work this time around. I think we've learned a few lessons from last time. So, all right, Sal, any final words? Thanks for joining me today. This was fun talking sports and Kendrick and commercials and wokeness and politics and all the things that we always talk about. Any final thoughts, sir?
Not, my typical, hey, we have to look out for each other. I think that's the biggest problem we have is not looking out for one another, not understanding, not being able to be cognizant of what's going on. I watched something on the internet where it was a man that had dementia. He was in Walmart. He went to go get some beers. He could actually tell that something was wrong with him. The people that work at Walmart they're foolish. They call the police. The police get the guy down, punch him like 6-7 times, and you can tell the man's confused. And it's just we just need to look out for each other and be more humane to each other.
A little compassion where it's called for, and then a little bit more vengeance on the demons who are trying to prey off of the weak.
Exactly.
Some righteous vengeance could be called for. Mike Moran says, good show, gentlemen. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate your comments in here. Sal, to be continued. I'll let you go, sir. Thanks for joining me today.
Right. No problem.
Good time. Everyone out there, if you'd like to contribute to the New American Media, we're on Patreon. Just got some more subscribers over there. It's always appreciated. Patreon.com/the New American Media. Venmo at Brian Engelman, PayPal at Fuzz Installment, and Cash App, $ Brian Engelman. We're also on YouTube and Rumble. Go ahead and link up with us in those locations. Subscribe. The Agree to Disagree Show podcast has the TNAM AM Show included on Spotify and Apple Music. And on X, we're at American_media_, the New American Media on Truth Social, and the New American Media on Instagram and Facebook. Sign up for those pages. Also, TNAM and TNAM Chat on Signal and Telegram. Vacating the studio before noon, as I promised. I appreciate you.